Hello folks, this is Kevin from Good Day Good Prayers. This video will be Life 7 on DSR chats. Yesterday I did a video and things didn't really turn out so well. I tried to do the video twice and both times it was not really great. I apologize for that, but there's not much I can do about that. Yesterday was not a good day for me. There are a lot of those days. As you get older, your days get tougher and tougher. And some days you'll have a halfway decent day. The next day won't be so great. And that will happen time and time again. So yesterday's video on Good Day Good Prayers was not a very good one. It was on Thursday. So if you're seeing this video and you go over to a video that talks about portals and talks about timelines and so on, you'll find that video. And you'll see that I stumbled quite a bit. I said the word job a couple of times in place of the word timeline. And a number of things happened over the course of that show. It wasn't a great show, but it's the best I was able to do yesterday. That was after, believe it or not, 2 takes. I've done 3 or 4 takes a number of times. And I've had to do some serious editing on some of these shows because, well, some of them just are not really great. And I'm sorry about that. There's not much I can do at this late date of my life. But the information that I have, you need to have. And some of this information that you're getting on these shows is going to be information that you're not going to know about for 10 or 20 years. Some of this information is going to be information that is going to help you in a lot of different ways. The world and the economy are going to change, and as they change, you're going to have to be able to do different things in order to compete in the world. And you're going to have to compete in the world because of the fact that it will make a difference in some of your cases of millions and tens of millions and maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars. So whatever information I can give you, I'm going to be giving it to you in these videos that I do. I'm going to do as many of these videos as I can. Right now I've done 340 videos, 350 or 60 videos. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm going to keep doing these videos until I can't anymore. In a year or 2 or 3, when I'm suddenly, in permanent brain hemorrhage or whatever, I'm going to quit. And that'll be it. The first half of the videos are going to tell you how and what we're doing to set up the video. And the second half of the video is going to give you the meat and potatoes. Now, on a lot of these videos, there'll be a couple of things that you'll need to know in the next little while. And some of these things that I tell you, you may not find out from any other place for 10 or 20 years. I may be long gone, and you may watch one of my videos one day and says, oh my gosh, he said that in 2025, this is 2045, and I could have used that information, 20 years ago because I could have gotten ahead of the competition. Well, that's just the way it is, and I'm sorry if I'm not an interesting speaker. I'm sorry if these videos are not to your liking. I'm okay with that, but you'll just have to be behind the 8 ball with the rest of the people that don't listen to it either. I know that's not very nice, and I shouldn't laugh, but it is kind of comical to me. Another thing you're going to notice on my shows, you're going to notice me doing this a lot, and doing this a lot, and doing this a lot, and so on. I have a neurological problem, and it causes me to itch a lot. It is a type of rash that I get because of the neurological situation. Now, I've had 4 neurologists in my time since I started having this problem. The first one told me that I had worn out my muscles, and that was what the problem was. The second one was very honest with me and told me, he says, I have no idea what to tell you. I suggest that you go on to Ohio State University because they have a lot better equipment there, and they have the capability of doing better blood testing and better testing. So before I went there, I saw a guy who also is a neurologist, but he's a surgical neurologist. Well, he suggested that I have surgery. Well, the surgery can be okay for some people, but not for others. At that time, I had more than one surgeon that I was working with because I had a lot of different problems. And I still have all of those problems, unfortunately, because they weren't able to do anything for me. I went to him. He was the one that I considered to be the most trustworthy and the best one to talk to. And I told him, I said, now the neurological surgeon wants to do this surgery. And he told me simply this. He said, I wouldn't have the surgery done. And the reason I wouldn't have it done, he says, you are not in good enough health to be able to handle a radical surgery of that nature. He says, I can tell you that most, if not all, of my patients who have had your types of health issues have died because of those types of radical surgeries. He says, that's one thing that concerns me. Well, he recommended a different surgery, which I turned down, not because I was upset over the situation, but because of the fact that I didn't want to go through that type of surgery at the time. So I didn't go through either of the surgeries. And the other surgeon, I more or less quit seeing altogether. Never went back to the neurological surgeon, never went back to the other guy, but I did 2 or 3 times go back to the guy that I had the faith in. I did see him a few more times. But nobody was ever able to cure my situation. So you'll see me scratching a lot. You'll see me having a lot of problems. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. So I hope you'll bear with me and maybe even laugh along with me, because I don't do thumbnails, and so what happens is that you'll see me, doing this on my on the video picture or whatever, weird things on the thumbnails. Personally, I think it's funny. I think YouTube has a sense of humor, and I think it's really humorous. So there you are. Anyway, I just want to say that please give us a thumbs up, because we need it on all of the channels that we can get. Right now we have 2 that are active and 1 that is inactive. In fact, if you want to go to the inactive one and do some thumbs up, and you want to do some subscribing and so on, we would appreciate that too, even though it's not active right now. But anyway, any of that kind of thing you can do to help us, we appreciate. The longer you can watch the videos, the better it helps us too. Yesterday I misspoke on a lot of different things, and I'm sorry. We want you to have a good day. And the way that you have a good day, it always begins with good prayers. And if they reach the throne of God, you'll have a good day. So with that being said, good day.